So we've got a couple new recruits to ARMA, and I thought I would make a tutorial illustrating how you can set up loadouts to save. That way you can use them when you have access to them via the arsenal in the game. If we go to tutorials, come down to virtual arsenal. Here we have access to all the weapons available to us, determined by the DLCs we have. Yours may look different than mine. You may have more or less DLCs. If we come in here and we see a character and we see all these icons reference these icons here. So if we want to look at a uniform, right there's the uniform, we click on it, it pulls up a list of available uniforms. We could do the same here, uniform. So typically we'll start out with a rifle. Everybody wants their particular weapon. We have all of these, and these icons are the DLC. So if you say have contact, you would see this icon here and you would have access to these weapons. If you don't, then you're not going to have them. So let's choose something like this to go P90. There it is. And then once we select an item over here, it opens up a contextual menu over here. Gives us all this information. Here's your rate of fire, accuracy, and then it gives us access to any available add-ons. So here are our sites we could add to it. And you'll notice if I select it, it automatically appears. And if you want to try it, you hit this button right here, try, and there we are. So this is a dual scope. It has a reticule and then it has a scope. By default, it goes to the reticule, but if we want to access the scope, we will hold down our left control button and click our right mouse button, and it gives us access. And we go back the same way. So once we're done trying it, we just hit our escape button and go back to Arsenal. There's our guy again. Click on the rifle to open up the contextual menus. Say you want a sound suppressor, you can just come over here and add the sound suppressor. And it's generally the same for the rest of the menu items. Here's your launchers. Here's your sidearms. Sidearm, same thing. We click on the particular one we like. And it gives us access to any available add-ons. We can come down to uniform, and here's our uniforms, again, determined by the DLCs you have. You can get as serious or as silly as you want to be. So now we have our uniform. One thing about the uniform, the vest, and the backpack is it gives you storage capabilities, represented by this bar right here. So this tells you once it comes all the way to this side, you're full, and it also influences your endurance, your ability to move, how quickly you can move, how long you can sprint. So we're in our uniform, and you notice we have access now to different items over here because we have some storage space. The magazine, the single magazine, represents only the ammunition for the weapons you have, which is the rifle and the sidearm. The dual magazines here, the tri magazines, it offers all the ammunition for all the weapons available to you. Grenades and various lights, so you have explosive grenades, fragmentation grenades, and smoke grenades, explosives, mines, and charges. And then you have first aid kits, med kits, mine detectors, and tool kits. So again, depending on the DLCs you have. So I like, in the uniform, I like to just throw in a couple first aid kits. And then we come down to a vest. The vest have storage capacity as well as ballistic protection, some of them. And that tells us right here. So we have ballistic protection. Notice how it increased there, decreased there. Explosive resistance, load, weight. Weight's important. So look, this one right here, chest rig, offers no ballistic protection, but it does offer storage. And so there's the trade-off. The more protection you have, it maybe you have a little less storage capacity. So we'll take something like that, nice protection. And now we can throw in a couple magazines for our weapon and our sidearm. Come down to some grenades, maybe throw in a couple grenades. It's always good to have some smoke to provide cover. And a couple more first aid kits. Same thing with the backpack rather. Come up to the backpack and you notice that not all backpacks are just for storage. Some actually contain things. Dome tent, sleeping bag, particular types of equipment, machinery. So you have to find the one that suits your purposes. There's a pack, and so again, we can just begin to fill it up. Maybe add in a med kit, some first aid, and depending on our mission, we may need an explosive charge. So, and then same thing with your helmet, your headgear. You can choose whatever you want, determined by whether you want ballistic protection or you just want to go for style. It's up to you. And it's up to the game you're playing and the server. Not all scenarios, not all mods will allow you to choose your loadout. The ones that do, once you have it saved in here, you have access to it. So again, you can wear something on your face. It's just however you want to look and whatever the mission calls for. Night vision goggles, binoculars. You have a map. GPS is good to carry. That creates a little box right here so you can either side so you see a mini map. Communication is always good. You can choose your face, and then you can choose your voice.
Awaiting orders. Standing by.
Again, depending on the DLCs you have. And you can also choose your insignia if you decide you want some. So, once you have your character kitted out the way you prefer, you would come down to save. I already have several here, but you would just put a name in and hit save. And then, if you decide you want to update it at some point, you would just come up to load it, and then make your changes and save it again, naming it the same name. Say you don't want to go through all that and you come up to an arsenal, well, you can just randomize just by clicking the random. And again, you can always try. You can import and export. That's for a later time. So here we are in a mission that gives us access to the arsenal. See, we can see right there that there's an arsenal there. I come up to it and I either can scroll my mouse wheel, and you notice in the top left there it gives me the arsenal, or I can just hit my space bar when I see the words. And sometimes it'll pop up and you can't see yourself, so you kind of just got to manipulate around with your right mouse button till you find your soldier. And I'm going to load one of those loadouts that I had saved, and there we go. That's it. There's my guy. And again, I can come in and customize him for this mission if I want. I could even, rather than clicking on this menu, I can just click on the icon here and get the same menus. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.